Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I wanted to make a video basically talking about the hidden forces and the agenda of the Matrix to basically keep you trapped, make you lose value, make you lose your prime principles of who you really are. And through this, I want to shed light to basically the negative influence on our modern lives, the misinformation that we're given, and the moral decay. We go through temptation, and we're gonna uncover that all in this video. So stay tuned and enjoy it. So we have a problem in America and all over the world, I would say. And I'm gonna give 4 main topics of the biggest threats to society in general and what's gonna cause the downfall in society in America and all over the world. The first one I want to talk about is moral decay. What is moral decay? Well, moral decay is basically we don't know the difference between what good and bad is anymore. Right? It's a society that's failing because we've taken out principles and values out of it, right? So I try to analyze everything around me, and moral decay is everywhere. And the reason why moral decay is happening around America and around the world so rapidly, and mainly in America, because other countries I can't even speak about them first because I don't live there. But I can speak about America because I grew up here and I understand it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is we took religion out of the classrooms. We took them out of the household. People no longer pray anymore whenever there's difficulty. They tend to fall on their own knowledge on how to solve things, and that can cause massive chaos, right? Because we no longer have a force to be submissive to. We don't have a force to look forward to, right? So if I need help with something, it's like a kid that needs help. They're gonna go to their parent. But when you're an adult and you're older, you don't really want to go towards your parent, right? You want to go towards God, because God is the difference between good and bad. He teaches us what's good and what's bad, right? So we took religion out of the classrooms, we took them out of the household, and all frankly, they got replaced with this LGBTQ XYZ whatever movement, because as you can see what's going on around us, people don't longer talk about God in school. Instead, they will talk about how it's okay to transform from a woman to a man and a man to a woman. They talk about it's allowed to have 150 genders. If you want to be labeled as a monkey, a goat, if you woke up as a goldfish this morning, you can be a goldfish. So that causes an immense amount of confusion for these kids, as you can think about. And they don't tell us this information. And well, they do. They tell adults about this information, but we know we're not a goldfish. We know we're not a vampire. We know we're not dinosaurs. We're humans, man or woman, you pick. But kids, they don't know, right? And what happens is, as a parent, you don't get to spend 24/7 of your time with your kids. And this is why I tell parents it's very important to be careful what your kids watch on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on whatever social media platform. Because when you're not on top of them watching what they are watching, you got to remember the media is programming them to believe what they want them to believe. And the media is the one pushing this LBGTQWXY and Z movement to these kids. So that's where they're getting their values and their principles from Instagram, Twitter, and that's the biggest mistake you can make as a parent. Right? So this is causing moral decay in our society because there's an immense amount of confusion. Right? Whenever we feel angry and upset, we have nowhere to release that energy to. You can release it to God back in the day, but now they release it towards the schools. That's why you see mass shootings. That's why you see riots in the streets. That's why you see chaos in the street, robbing. Because America is a failing society, because the moral decay. And I don't know what causes, if it's politics, if it's the left versus the right. One just wants to be right no matter what it takes. Who knows? Right? But all I know is that you got to control what you have control of. And you got to remember, it's going to be very difficult because you only really spend 4 or 5 hours of the day with your child. So you got to remember, and during those 4 or 5 hours, you got to try to put so much value in them as much as you can during that time. Really spend time with them. Because while they're at school, they're getting programmed by their teachers, and you don't know if these teachers are getting programmed by the LGBTQ, and your teachers are the ones teaching your kids that. Because they spend how many hours at school? And as soon as you get home and you pick up your kid, you're already tired from work, so you don't have time to spend on your kid, and they're out there with their iPad because that's what's easy for you. But that's the mistake. Don't give them the iPad. Teach them value. Teach them, did you do your homework? Take them out for a walk. Talk to them about God. Bring God back in the picture, because it does help. Whether you believe in God or not, whatever your religion is, if it's Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, we all need God in our picture. We need something we can be submissive to a higher power, because it helps us, right? Because when we feel angry and upset, we can release that energy towards something and pray when there's difficulty, instead of going to go do school shootings, for example, right? So that's the one concept I wanted to teach you, and it's moral decay. Alrighty, so the next topic I wanted to talk about is misinformation, right? So misinformation is a very valuable topic that you want to shed light on. I basically want to shed light on all these topics, right? And introduce to you, because maybe people don't think about it, right? So misinformation, what is it? Misinformation is anything that's deceiving, misleading, any of those things, right? So let me give you an example of misinformation. During COVID-19, they talked about taking the vaccine. They told us it would be safe, you won't get harmed, and most importantly, it was FDA approved, right? And knowing me, I was like, you know what? I did my research, like everyone should do, but not a lot of people do. I did my research, and I found out a vaccine could take 5-10 years to develop. And this one came out after a year and a half, 2 years. I don't think it was 2 years, like a year. It came out after a year, so I was already skeptical because of that. So sooner or later it comes out. Now we get young people getting heart attacks, getting blood clots because of the vaccines. You see, this is where they try to mislead you. Was it for profit gain for the pharmaceutical companies? Of course. And there's going to be a lot of misinformation from now and the future. Misinformation is going to be something that you really have to do your research and analyze before you just get misled, because it's going to be very vital in the future. Because pharmaceutical companies are going to do their best to mislead you and misguide you, right, into taking more vaccines. That's one. Another thing you have to shed light on is the war in Russia and Ukraine. That's another one. Don't ever think for once when America says we're going to war or we're helping this country is to help people. In war, and anyone that's been in war understand this, there's a bad and there's an evil, right? So it's just one bad fighting another bad. Which one is more bad is your decision to make. But don't ever think this is the Avengers where there's a good side and there's a villain. War is not like that in real life. You're facing bad versus bad. Which one is more bad? That's up to you, right? And misinformation is going to keep spreading in the future even harder. With the push of AI, you can mimic the voices of people. If I wanted to right now, I can transform into an anime character. I can light myself on fire. I can
sound like someone else. AI is going to be pushed.
And you wouldn't know what's the truth or not. That's the scary part, right? But like I said, you have to do your research. And you have to inform yourself and make yourself think, is this true? What is it teaching me? Is it good? When you watch the news, do you ever watch it saying, what does the news want me to think or believe or act in the way? Do they want me to believe in fear, act in fear, or do they want something good for me? That's always a good question when someone's giving you information. Is it good for me? Is it bad for me? What does it do for me? Right? Because another source of misinformation is, for example, crypto. I like to use misinformation a lot because it's such an important one, because this will save a lot of people and it will save you if you're watching this video. For example, with Dogecoin. A lot of people invested in Dogecoin thinking that it was going to go to $1, make everybody rich, and it never did. Right? So you have to be on the lookout for misinformation. Be knowledgeable about what you do, especially investments, because misinformation is spread for someone's personal gain. Right? So you have to be careful from now in the future about misinformation, because now you have the spread of AI, voice mimicking through AI, face scanning through AI. It's gonna get there, and it's a scary thing. But as long as you keep praying, stay strong, stay open-minded, and ask yourself, is it good or is it bad for me? And start questioning things is the most important thing about misinformation. Question everything. So the third one I introduce to you is negative influences. This is a good one, all right, because people my age specifically need to hear this, because the older generation, they're like, I'm not falling for that shit. So negative influences, right? There's negative influences everywhere. The definition is simple. It's influence that's negative, right? How do you get influence in a negative way? Well, first of all, as a man, we all know, as soon as you open Instagram, you open Twitter, you open Snapchat, whatever the case is, there's women half naked everywhere. There's women trying to promote their OnlyFans accounts. They're trying to get you trapped in a state of mind where you lose all your power and control. Because everything is in society is to lose self-control and feel bad about yourself. Think about it. OnlyFans accounts. And that's moral decay also, if you think about it, because these women has lost their values. They're doing it for money. They lost their values because of money, right? And man get influenced in a negative way because of it. So both sides are just as bad, the one producing it and the one watching it. So that's a negative influence. As soon as you go on Instagram and see all these half-naked girls in your phone, you have to get rid of it, right? Because it's influenced you in a negative way. So what do you do about that? Well, it's simple. Just change your dynamic of your social media accounts. These are all algorithms. You can follow business ideas, and all you'll get is business ideas on your Instagram feed, on your TikTok. If you follow all half-naked women, that's all you'll see in your Instagram feed, right? And not just women. I'm not gonna bash women the whole fucking video, right? Because that's horrible. I understand why women do it. They do it because there's circumstances. That doesn't make it right. There's still moral decay to it. You lose value because of it. But like I said, the men are equally as responsible because of it. Because there's always going to be a man trying to buy it, and there's always going to be a woman trying to sell it. Another negative influence is the celebrities you watch. And I tell my girlfriend this for a reason. Because my girlfriend loves to, unfortunately, get her... Like, she's entertained by celebrities, basically. So, when I see a celebrity, basically, divorcing, I tell her, do you realize why this is all made public? Do you really believe that this is true? Because for me, I can't look at a celebrity's relationship and say, well, I can look at a celebrity's relationship and say this is acting. Easily acting. Why would I believe this is an actual relationship? Because we always get these celebrities that are cheating. It's always the man cheating and the woman's the victim. And the funny thing is, whenever they get divorced or you find out the man is cheating and they break up, there's always an album coming out soon for these celebrities. There's always a movie coming out soon for these celebrities. And the perfect timing, right? Think about that. And I want you to be aware of that next time. And then also, the people that get negative influence by this the most are people that grew up in a broken household. So if you have a dad or a mom that wasn't in the picture, these people get influenced the most, because you have no outlook on what a relationship is supposed to look like what a marriage is supposed to look like, right? For example, my parents, they've been together for all their lives, so I can say this is what I want for my marriage. It's beautiful, they lasted, and I know why they lasted. But someone that didn't have their parent in their household, they're gonna look for other examples of relationships. And why does the media push divorces and marriages? Well, it makes sense, because if you don't have a strong household and an example of a relationship, a good marriage in your house, you're gonna look for it through celebrities. So whenever you see a celebrity, a man cheating when it's a celebrity, how do you feel? Man ain't shit. Women say all the time, man ain't shit. Wow, I feel bad for her. Man ain't shit. All you hear is constantly, man ain't shit, man ain't shit. And the reason why is they want to program you to think that man really ain't shit, that it's not worth getting married. And what happens when you stop getting married? You start reproducing. Same thing Bill Gates talked about. We want people to stop reproducing because society is growing too fast in these populated areas. So let's stop reproducing, right? So all this is to create a negative influence. There's a negative force in the world, and I want you to be aware of it. This is a spiritual war that we're going through. The bad and the good, right? And the bad wants to overcome everything. Right? So that's why I tell you to be aware of negative influences, because they will control your thoughts and your emotion. On top of that, we have celebrities that literally idolize materialistic things. They idolize it. You have celebrities that buy these diamond chains, all this clothing, they show off their cars, they show off their big houses. And I'm not saying all these things are not good to have. It's okay to have these things. But they take it to an exaggerated level. They show off their cash. It just looks corny and cringy, in my opinion. But the people that get negative influenced by this the most are our children. They think it's cool. And when they think something is cool, they're going to want to be like this person. Full of tattoos. And I have tattoos too. I'm not criticizing someone with tattoos. I have a whole bunch of tattoos in my body, right? But what I'm saying is that they tend to want to be like these artists, doing drugs, covered in diamond chains, and you feel bad about yourself. You're like, why am I not there? That affects you emotionally. These negative influences, that's gonna affect you, because you're like, why am I not there? I wish I could be there. You're gonna wish like you had this person's life when their life is unrealistic. These celebrities, rappers, actors, they're young. They're 25, 30. You don't get to be financially free if you do it the legit way and you grew up poor until you're 30, 40 at least. 40, 50 at least. Right? So people tend to look at these celebrities and say, wow, I wish I was there. But you shouldn't wish you're there. You should know that you're better than them. You're more free than them. You have more love in your heart than them, because you don't have to look at these materialistic things like they're your God. And that's what they do. Because what happens if God comes to this world and destroys everything that they ever owned? They'll commit suicide, because that's all they live for. Right? What if God decided to teach them a lesson and take all their diamond chains and all this and all that? Because it's not happiness that comes from your heart. It's not love that comes from your mom. It's temporary happiness. It's like when you buy a new TV. Yeah, you're happy for the first month, but then you're bored. It's like when you buy a new Xbox. Yeah, you're happy, but then you're bored of the Xbox. It's like when you buy anything in life. After a month, you're bored of it when it's materialistic. So you gotta watch out for negative influence. This is a very important topic, and I want you to take it serious, guys. All right, I saved the best for last, and this one is one that a lot of people are gonna click off this video and they're not gonna want to hear it, but I have to do it. And we all struggle with it at a degree because we all are victims of it. We're all humans. But I want you to understand something. The reason why I shed light to this is because I want you to find the thing you most struggle with and help yourself with that every single day until that struggle is no longer a struggle. Because once you beat that struggle, remind yourself that you can do anything in life. If you want to lose weight, you'll do it. If you want to be rich, you'll do it. If you want to be successful, you'll do it. You want to help your mom retire, you'll do it. Once you beat whatever I say next, the thing you most struggle with, you can do anything in the world. All right? So, for the fourth one, it's temptation. And there's temptation everywhere. So, temptation. Where do I even start off with this one? Let's start off with a man's perspective, right? Temptation. Temptation. If you're in a relationship, like I am, you're going to be tempted by other women. You're going to be tempted by other women to cheat. You might look at other women more beautiful than your girlfriend, but it shouldn't be that way. You can't let temptation override your thoughts. You can't let the models that are going to be on Instagram promoting their OnlyFans say, subscribe to my OnlyFans, and you go ahead and do it. Because that's temptation. They want to tempt you to use your money, to use the power that was instilled in your manpower, and they want to take it from you and convert it into money for them. So you can be tempted, especially if you're in a relationship, to do any of these acts. Second, I want to talk about substances that we all consume. People smoke weed. You shouldn't be smoking weed. It makes you lazy. It makes you seem as irresponsible in society. You're seen as untrustworthy. And you can say weed helps many people. You can say weed is medical. Weed is recreational. But I'm not going to fall for any of that shit. I don't care what you say about weed. I used to smoke weed every single day. I know why it's bad. It made me lazy. It made me irresponsible. It made me unproductive. All of these things that are horrible traits. Right? So why would I ever let anyone tell me what weed is and weed isn't? What? So you think because the government passed a law that weed is recreational, I'm going to believe that it's good? The government doesn't want the best for you. They did it with the vaccines. They're killing kids with the vaccines. Why would they want the best for you? Why would I say weed is good because the government passed? No. I don't look at the government like it's my God, like it's my Jesus. Like, whatever the government says, I got to believe it. No. Fuck that. I would never live a life like that. Right? So, substances. People smoke weed. People take cocaine. All of those are temptations. If you struggle with that and you want to quit, and I promise you, like I said in the beginning of this chapter of temptation, if you quit, you can do anything in life. Remember that. Third, what do I want to talk about? We talked about substances, talked about drugs. We talked about substances. We talked about sexual temptations. What about this one? The temptation to gossip. That's a tough one because we all want to gossip. We all like the drama. So, gossiping and talking about someone is a temptation because you're tempted to talk about someone. And that's not a good thing because what gossiping does, and rumors, most importantly, they create a toxic environment for your mind, for things around you. If you gossip about someone at work, that rumor is going to spread, and that person that you gossiped about probably isn't going to have a good, healthy relationship with you. They're gonna stop trusting you as someone they can just tell anything to. So that's why gossiping is a bad thing, and we all do it. But if we let go of that, you'll become more powerful. I promise you. Because it's very difficult, but you can do it. Me, I'm a victim of it. I gossip every now and then. But most of the time, when someone is gossiping about someone, I'm just quiet, just listening, because I don't want to add to it, you know? And it's an ugly thing, because if you have someone gossiping about someone else to you, what makes you think they're not gossiping about you to someone else? And that's what causes the unhealthy relationships with that person, the toxic environment, right? And I just want to make a little breakdown of temptation. These are little things, but we all have temptations that we want to fight. The temptation to be lazy, not wanting to work out, say I'm gonna save this for later. That's a temptation also. We have to quit those things. We have to act now. Rich people act now. If you want to be successful, rich people don't say I'm gonna save this for tomorrow. They get on it right away. If rich people don't say, oh, I'm gonna invest but I'm scared. No, they lose the money. Who cares? If I lose it, I win. I learn something and I try again. That's how rich people act and how successful people act, right? So if you let go of your temptations, you got to remind yourself you can do anything in the world at this point. Any challenge that comes to you, easy. I want to do this, easy. And that's how I feel, because each and every day I'm letting go of every type of temptation. And this is the most important one of all of them that I've talked about. Because I'm not tempted to do anything, because I'm in full control of myself and my mind. And that's the most valuable thing you can do. Doesn't matter how rich you are, if you're tempted, you can lose all of it. Even if you're sick, you can control your mind and not tempt your mind to have horrible thoughts. You can let the temptation bring you horrible thoughts. But even if you're sick, you can see the best outlook in life. And that's peace. Right? And peace is the most important thing in life, right? So if there's anything that you guys learn from this video, is that you can truly do anything in life. You just gotta be laser focused, analyze the darkness that society provides you with, and you are the light to this darkness. God is the light to this darkness. Start praying if you're not religious. I don't care if you don't believe in God or nothing. Meditate. What are you going to say now? You can't meditate? You can't close your eyes and tell yourself you're thankful for this, thankful for that? Do that every single day and watch how your life changes. Take care, guys. I love y'all. Tell me in the comment section something you want to improve in life. I want to hear it. What's one thing that you want to improve in life? Or another question, because maybe that's a little personal. You don't want anyone to see it. What's your goal? What do you want in life? I want to hear in the comment section. What do you want in life? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to retire your mom? Do you want to lose 50 pounds, 20 pounds? Do you want to start off a business? Tell me what you want in life in the comment section down below. I really want to hear it. And if you want to message me on Instagram and talk to me, that's fine. If you're going through something, talk to me. Instagram is modern _ billionaires. Just how my YouTube is, but there's an underscore, modern _ billionaires. Y'all take care. Have a good one, guys.